Welcome into another edition of Wildcat All In. I'm Paul Grua. Today thrilled to be joined by our new football head coach, Eric Kjar.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome to Weber State.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been awesome so far. It's been short, but it's been great.
It's been kind of a whirlwind for you,
Oh,
I'm sure,
yeah.
the last few weeks and days.
Yeah, it's been wild, but it's been, just something I really want to be a part of and look forward to. So it's been great.
So people are going to say, wow, the success you had at Corner Canyon is incredible, and we'll talk about that. But why the time to transition for you? Why now from college or from high school to college?
Probably like some of it's opportunity, right? This job's a great job. I think there's resources there. I think the administration's right now. I think they have good players in their roster. I have contacts with a lot of people in the state. And then my kids are at an age now where I feel like it's a good opportunity for me as like a father and as a family to be able to make this move. And like I said, opportunity. Like I don't know the next time Weber State would be available, in that part you just don't know. So you have to take your opportunities when you can.
Well, you mentioned a little bit of it, but what is it about Weber State that draws that interest for you?
It's in Utah. First of all, I love Utah. I love this place. I know I can recruit the state here in the state of Utah. There's a lot of talent here. And then I know and have a lot of connections around here of building staff as well. And then just like I said, just where it's at, where it's located, as far as a metropolitan area with the Big Sky, I think it's a recruiting advantage I think you have here. And then just good kids. Like you get an opportunity to coach a lot of good kids and develop them from the Utah area and then from other areas too, and just a chance to build something special. I think there's a lot of things here, resource-wise, facilities-wise, that gives you that opportunity.
Yeah. Anytime you make a change, it's got to be hard to leave where you were. And I'm sure it is hard for you. You already talked to your team, and that was very hard, you said. What was the key to your success? Incredible success. I mean, we're talking 6 titles at Corner Canyon, 112-10.
Yeah.
And all these All-Americans and NFL players. What was the key to that?
A lot of talented players for sure, but also just great buy-in by players. Understanding like that football was really important to them, like on their part, and they wanted to be pushed and work hard in order to like have some goals and reach those goals and be a good team, and the continuous process that we put those guys through and those players through, like it was a daily regiment that they had to follow, and they followed it and they embraced it. And then just coachability, just good kids, good support, great administration down there. Great coaches around us too. Like it was a great just thing we built down there, I think, as a whole, and not just myself, but my assistants and the players around us. It was just a full family type deal, and just being able to put that together. And then it got kind of more and more special, and just kind of built on top of each year. So
yeah, very special. How do you see your connections in the high school world in Utah, especially? How does that help you, as you become a head coach now in college?
I think it's critical. I think. In the interview process, that was one of the things I talked a lot about, is just how important the state of Utah, I think, is to Weber State football, and how much you can build with the talent here in the state, along with, a little bit of other states, and then having connections to good high school coaches. There's so many good high school coaches in the state that have developed and building, great things here. I think you've seen that with quarterback play in the state as of lately, not just from Corner Canyon, but other kids like the Bessinger kid from Davis, who's going to a big program, Maddox Madsen, who's at Boise State now, who's been playing really well. There's some good kids in the state, and not just quarterback wise, but everybody comes here for big linemen, O-line, D-line, that type of stuff. But I think there's more in the state than that. A lot of that's a testament to the coaching that I think is in Utah from a high school standpoint.
How do you see the transition? What are the biggest keys that it will be? Maybe some new things for you too. There'll certainly be new things for you.
Definitely.
How do you bridge that transition from high school to college?
Being around a lot of good people, surrounding myself with a staff that's going to be willing to help me learn as I learn through that process, being a high school coach. But then also having my touch into that too, and adding some of the intensity and toughness part that I think we bring into our program. Transitioning into strength and conditioning stuff, that's going to be a big piece of that too. And then really recruiting the right athletes to be here that are going to represent Weber State the right way, and be able to build something special here that we can all be proud of.
How do you see your coach? What is your coaching style like? What do you think fans can get excited about to to see what the Wildcats might look like
Yeah.
on the field.
Yeah, really competitive, just personality in general, especially with football. Kind of a perfectionist in that one way. Probably for me, it's the only way. I think probably if you were talking to my wife, the only avenue I am a perfectionist in, but it's a big one for me, just doing things the right way, doing the things we've coached that to do in our program, being disciplined, and understanding, we have a job and an assignment as a team and as players and coaches, and understanding that that's really the priority, and along with, the academic and all that part of it. But to fans, I want to see these guys be, good football players that are disciplined, that are going to be well coached, and then also to just see them good members of the community and build it that way.
Yeah. What is it that you love about coaching? You got into this business, you've been doing it a long time, and now you're moving to college, but what do you love about coaching?
My favorite piece is coaching young men. They're going to be a little bit older at this point, but they're special. Like just that age group and that time of their lives is just a contagious time frame for them, and it keeps you young. And seeing to build special things with them and teach them things that they're going to use the rest of their life, whether it's having accountability or toughness or hard work or working through trials and things like that, or having some tough things go their way and adversity, and they got to work through that and be able to help them through that process. It's all about the young men and being able to help them and build them up.
Did you always, growing up, when did you think, maybe I want to be a coach?
That's a really good question. I had a really good high school football coach named John Scott that I really looked up to, and I don't even know how much he knows this, honestly, at this point. I haven't contacted or talked to him a ton, but just somebody I looked up to a lot. And then my second year in college, I asked him about I wanted to get into coaching, and I was thinking about being a history teacher. And at the time, he recommended physical education just to be close for my athletes, and that really kind of is what set it forth from that point on. I started off in accounting. That was a terrible idea. I don't know why I even started trying to do that. I took a few accounting classes, quickly changed out of that, and I love what I do, and to be a part of so many people's lives and build something with everybody is special.
You grew up in Wyoming, Kemmerer. Yep. Did you always want to play football? Was that a big part of your life?
Loved it. Yeah, I grew up loving football. My dad was a big BYU fan, so we were always on Channel 5 watching BYU football games from a young level, and that's probably what started it, and then that grew from there on, just getting more and more into college football and wanting to play college football. And even though I was from a small town, probably was wide-eyed and didn't really understand how tough that jump would end up being. But yeah, it was always something important to me.
Well, you mentioned your family is important to you,
100%.
obviously. You've got 4 kids.
Yep.
And one of them, Wildcat fans know well, and Noah Kjar, obviously.
Yeah.
So you've been able to see, from a parent side, right, watch him the last couple of years as well.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your other kids, a couple of them have played or are playing football as well. So it's a big part of your life.
100%. Yeah, and they love it. It's a big part of their lives, and probably that's a little bit probably my hand in that, just because I gravitated to that, and I think naturally I think kids kind of do that with their parents some. But it's been fun to watch them just learn and grow. And Noah's dealt with an ACL injury this last year, and just see him deal with that adversity and how he's grown, and his process in rehabbing from that has been just awesome and unmatched. And just see what he's doing. He's driving all over the place to do his rehab, and he's really diligent about it. And he texted me at late last night about coming in and lifting this morning, early in the morning with him. So I got to lift in with him early before anything really kind of got going. So just to see what football's taught my kids, my family, and then just, like I said, my wife being, kind of really our centerpiece and pushing everything from behind the scenes, and honestly being everybody's rock with that group has been really, really just something that's been fun, and I think just been awesome in our family. We have our years of, when we've been lucky enough to win those state titles, of getting a family picture on the field, and we've been able to pretty much do it every year, because I think the 2 years Noah was gone on a mission, we lost in the championship game, and then right when he came back, we won it in 23. Tate had his own prep and game this year in 25, so he wasn't a part of that picture. But we look at it all the time. It's special just as we look at those pictures and see our family kind of being together, and what that part's been a big piece of our lives.
And I heard that Noah pushed hard for you, obviously, to get this job, and he wrote a letter that was read to you.
Yeah.
What was that like to hear from him?
Man, so I'm in the middle of an interview process, and I was tearing up. Like it was tough. Because there's really probably not something that'll bring like just close connections with people. And when you hear stuff like that from somebody that you're really closely connected to, it jerks at me a little bit for sure. So
you coached him in high school and other sons too. What's it like to coach your sons?
Been awesome. It's been awesome. So I didn't coach them in Little League. Kind of stayed out of that. And then once they got into high school, I've coached all of them in football and track, even my daughter in track, and that's been just great for me. It's been special. There was a track meet, it's a few winter workouts last year. No, it was so it would have been 24. Noah was back from his mission, getting ready and working through here, and he was running here. And we were doing some workouts on a Saturday together, and I had all 4 of them out there because Carter was I think a sophomore at the time working into it. Addie was into her senior year, and Tate. It was fun. Like just all of us like working together in one thing, all 4 of us, which is rare, I think, to be able to do that where you have your daughter and your sons there, and you get to teach, and it's kind of what I feel like I have a good skill at with track and field also. So it was fun.
Well, Eric, we're thrilled to have you here. Super excited to have you here at Weber State. Can't wait to get things going. I'm sure you can't either. I know there's a lot of work to do to get there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
I'm thrilled to be here, man. I really appreciate you guys taking the time and being able to do this. And everybody's just been awesome so far, and look forward to, getting to work and hitting the ground running here.
Okay, Eric Kjar, the new head coach of Weber State football. Go